So what is Chiapas? What really hooked our hearts to Chiapas?
Well, our connection with Chiapas and the Casa Hogar orphanage there began at least 15 years ago. And there was a group from our church taking a trip down to visit Elizabeth, who runs the orphanage, and just help her and encourage her. And so I decided I wanted to join them, and I took our oldest daughter, Audra, with us. And it was amazing to see what Elizabeth was doing. I mean, here's a woman who dedicated her life and was rescuing kids' tragic situations. Many of them aren't orphans in the traditional sense, but really are rescued from some horrible abuse in different situations. And as we developed relationships with these kids, we continued to go down year after year and taking our girls with us.
Those kids just win your heart over. And so we were part of going down and just loving on those kids and playing with them and doing Bible stories and singing, doing all sorts of stuff. And so we bonded. We just absolutely bonded.
And there was one particular girl that we bonded with, not for any choice of our own, but she really chose us. There was a little girl named Reina.
Here's Daddy's heart here. This is Daddy's heart.
And yeah. So we met Reina. She was maybe 10 years old. And I don't know why there was a special connection. Like you said, I think she chose us. And after meeting her and being with her year after year, she approached us one year and said, would you adopt us? And we would have if we could. It's a tragic story. Her family's extremely poor, and her father put her and her two brothers up for sale. And that was how she ended up in the orphanage when she was 2 years old. Spent the rest of her life there. But we adopted her in our hearts. She became part of our family. We stayed connected year after year. We'd go down and see her, and we have family pictures with her, our 4 girls now, but not just our 3. And then about 15, 16 years old, she found herself sent back to the village.
And it's a very poor village, and here she had been educated. She had a whole different sense of herself and ambition, and there was no way that there was a future.
There were dozens more girls like this. They weren't ready for life. Elizabeth did an amazing job of raising them, educating them, but there was something missing because most of the girls who left returned with tragic stories. We returned one year and there were 3 new babies at the orphanage, and then eventually we got the stories that these were the children of girls who had lived there, left, and now found themselves pregnant and couldn't take care of their own kids. And we're returning them to the orphanage that they grew up in, and the cycle was just continuing.
And I think like any of us, they're looking for belonging. It's hard to have a sense of belonging in an orphanage where there's 150 kids. And I think they were, in a sense, looking for love in all the wrong places. And they found it. They found it.
So we began to ask, I began to ask Elizabeth, what else needs to be done? There's something missing here. We know you're doing everything you can, but obviously there's something missing. These girls are just not ready. We've seen the boys fare much better, but the girls, and my heart for the girls, having been a dad of 3, was just drawn to find a solution, to find something that could be done. So after asking those questions year after year, honestly, I just heard the Lord say, maybe you're the one to do something about it. And that's the origin of Reina's Hope.
It is still a challenge because this is so much bigger than we are. And the Lord has placed in our hands an incredible little ranch, 15 acres.
Today, now, we're in the process of developing that ranch, creating that home for the girls. Not an institution, but more of a family environment where they could get the individual attention, the mentoring, the love. The same thing we provide for our own kids, to prepare them for life, to just move them along toward that place of where they're confident and independent.
And truly what the Lord has called them into, what their gifts are, that we can be that safe ground. And it won't just be us, but we want to provide that home where it is safe, where they have opportunities, where they can always have a sense of that they belong, and that they would really have a hope and a future, that is really what the desire that the Lord has placed in our hearts. And this dream, this vision is so much bigger than we are. than we have the capacity for, but we've already seen. And from the beginning, I would say we both felt like you're not in this alone. The Lord is bringing along people, and He continues to bring people to establish this home. We're hoping to break ground in this coming year to establish our first home on the property.
Come and join us, help us, and let's build a home for these at-risk teenage girls. This can be done. We need to give them a hope and a future.